Today is May 12th, 2025. My name is Charles Sutter. Today I'm presenting a new series called Time Management. My main message, manage your time or time will manage you. Before I get into this little matrix explanation, let me give you some general background on how important time is, as if you didn't know already. Time is your most precious resource because you can't get any more of it. You can't set a goal to gain more time. Better health, perhaps, because with better health you might gain more longevity. But consider time as your most limited of all resources. Time is your life, and when your time is up, your life is over. How you spend your time determines how effectively you live your life, ideally focused on what's most important to you. How you spend your time wisely, and if you do so, you earn more success and enjoy more happiness. The people who enjoy more successes and happiness are those who best utilize the time they have so they can spend more time on activities they love. Now, these series of presentations will focus on the top 12 time management principles for getting the most out of your time you have when you intentionally strive to manage your time to manage your life. So, the most important time management principle is prioritize tasks using the urgency importance matrix. And here it is. You're going to sort tasks into urgent and important categories and prioritize. In this case, urgency is either low or high, and of course there's a continuum in between. And importance is from low to high, and again, there is a continuation between these two extremes. So there's basically 4 cells. The most important is a task that's urgent and important. You do these immediately. You don't wait. Work on these and get them out of your life. Get them done. The next 2 important are tasks that are urgent, although they're not important, or high importance but low in urgency. Now, the arrow here says you have to make a judgment call. Some people say do the most important things first. Other people say do the most urgent things first. I tend to want to get rid of the urgent things, even though they're of lower importance, because it tends to nag on my mind and interfere with my thinking about what is the most important. So that's a judgment call. Now, 80% of the time, or most other time, the tasks that you devote your time to are low urgency and low importance. So now that you're aware of the limitations of time, you'll spend more time in the upper quadrant than in the lower quadrant. One of the most important keys to time management is to prioritize your time so you spend more of your precious time on activities that provide the greatest value to you. Not everything you want or must do is equally important. So decide at the beginning of the day, what do you want to accomplish, and then allocate time to each activity depending upon its priority. Devote more time to the activities that are most important and urgent. You alone know what activities are important to your well-being, so you alone need to define your priorities. Don't neglect time for self-care and fun activities. Principle number 2, set clear goals with SMART characteristics. What are these characteristics? Well, each of these letters here in SMART is one of the characteristics. Goals should be specific and measurable. In other words, you need to know when a goal is achieved. Goals must be achievable and relevant to your success and happiness. Finally, goals must be timely or time-bounded to keep you on track. For every activity to which you choose to allocate time, make sure you get your money's worth. Time is a precious resource, so you should demand a high rate of return for either immediate satisfaction or a high future return if you're working towards a longer-term goal. SMART goals are those goals that will yield the proper payback for the time you invest in its attainment. SMART goals are also likely to be achievable and attainable. Otherwise, all the time you invest could be for naught. So, pick goals whose work requirements to achieve them is enjoyable. Then the journey to the goal could be its own reward. All the other elements of a SMART goal are there to help you pick rewarding goals and also to increase the chances of you getting what you're aiming for. Time management principle number 3, plan your day in advance. Don't start your day not knowing what you're going to do. Spend the day ahead to determine what's important, what's urgent, what you need to do to maintain your life. Have it all scheduled out so when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you're going to do. Define the time slots available for working on urgent and important tasks. But first of all, you have to assign some time and tasks based upon routine tasks, things that you normally do. Also time for social and leisure. And whatever time's left over, focus on the urgent and the important. Once you've chosen how you intend to spend your time, then create a daily schedule for your day, listing the activities and tasks you intend to spend your time on. The best time to prepare your daily schedule is the end of the day. You'll know what you didn't complete and all the new urgent matters that have arisen during that day that you didn't finish. Go to the next day. You don't need to list your routine activities, to keep your health and environment livable. Just set blocks of time for those routines. The remaining time you have available, list what tasks you want to complete that day, starting with the highest priority, which are either important or urgent. Make every attempt to complete a discrete task or a discrete step on each activity you've allocated time to. Otherwise, there'll be a high startup cost penalty later when you transition back to unfinished tasks. Consider setting up a maximum time you allocate to each task, especially if you have many tasks that must be allocated to the day. Sometimes the shorter task should go first, even if it's not the highest priority, so that the longer tasks don't hold them up. Defining a daily schedule is a matter of judgment and discretion, but once you make a time allocation, stick to it except for good reason. Sometimes new urgencies pop up unexpectedly that will demand your immediate attention. Now, my main message, which will be the same throughout this series, is that the better you manage your time, the better you manage your life. If you want to get more out of your life, then manage your time better, so you get more done with the time you have. There are time management principles that, if applied judiciously, will allow you to get more done in less time. The better you are at managing your time, the more success and happiness you can expect as a reward. Now, that's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier and healthier and live longer.